I bet you're a big fan of those old-fashioned cowboy movies, aren't you?
I thought I was, until I met you.
Hello everyone, my name is GeekySteven, and I've recently been added to a little project centered around Overwatch. And now that I'm doing this, I'm contractually obligated to do a review on the character I'll be playing. Ladies and gentlemen, it's McCree.
It's high noon.
Surprisingly, McCree doesn't have any sort of official origin videos online for him. In fact, I think a lot of characters don't. So to do my research, I used the ever-reliable and ever-trustworthy Gamespedia.com, or Gamepedia.com, whatever. Originally being part of the Deadlock gang, Jesse McCree was proficient in trafficking guns and military hardware until Overwatch shut the entire operation down. After being taken into custody, he's confronted by the curious Gabriel Reese, who actually gives him the opportunity to be in the group, and considering the only other option was rotting in jail for the rest of his life, he reluctantly agrees, but he warms up to it over time and figures, hey, I have this opportunity to stop being a piece of shit and actually contribute to society, so I'm gonna take it. I think with how McCree departs from Overwatch to do his own thing just as the organization is on the brink of implosion would probably make him seem like an anti-hero. But truthfully, he's anything but. Anti-heroes are defined as protagonists who lack common heroic traits like courage, responsibility, and idealism, Deadpool being the go-to answer in that sort of category. McCree has all those traits in spades, and then some. It makes him more of a vigilante than an anti-hero, considering how his strong sense of justice sticks with him long after Overwatch has fallen. Sure, he'll do paid work for others, but if he feels that the end goal isn't just, he won't do it, which I think is very strong characterization. His desire to make up for the life he led long ago outweighs the want for recognition or profit, and the fortitude in his values goes to show how his time in Overwatch changed him on such a profound level, whether it was through connections he made or just through the work he was set through. This is a story I really hope gets adapted into an animated short at some point or another. From the way I see it, they still seem to be making them every, once in a blue moon, so who knows? I think it would translate well into animated form. Hell, you could make it almost like a crime drama in certain areas if you wanted to. And with that, we move into how he handles, which in my opinion is far more interesting because, holy fuck! McCree may be classified as an assault character, but he has to have the most restricted mobility out of all of them. With Genji, you have his high jumps and long-range sword slash. With Pharah, you have a jetpack. Tracer has her speed and time manipulation. Hell, even Reaper has his invincibility that makes him move a little faster. McCree, however, well, let's just take a look. That's it. The guy moves like a tank, but unlike tanks, he goes down quick with a measly 200 health. In short, if you try to rush more than one guy or go in alone, you'll probably get your ass kicked. But even with his restrictions, I found a lot of utility in just how much this character can really do. His revolver has a lot more range than you'd expect, and even at a distance, it can pack a punch. And as expected, it only fires one bullet at a time, but I found that if I played more defensively instead of just going hog wild, keeping my distance and all that, his low rate of fire isn't that much of an issue. It just requires the player to be a bit more mindful of spacing and personal health, as well as some more accuracy on their part. For the role in Flashbang, I'd say they're no good for affecting groups, but when used correctly, they can easily take out isolated opponents. Along with normal shooting, McCree has a move called Fan the Hammer, where he uses up the rest of his bullets from a single reload. A simple flashbang followed by Fan the Hammer is enough to take out most characters, seeing as how the flashbang stuns them long enough to pop a barrel out. Unless you're facing Genji, in which case you're a dead man.
Come on.
The role I mentioned earlier also acts as a quick reload, so if you find yourself up against a tank like Orisa or Zarya, you can throw out the flashbang, fan the hammer, and perform a dodge roll to get yourself on the other side, and then finally pull off fan the hammer one more time. This doesn't work with all tanks, mind you. Roadhog, for example, kicked the shit out of me in one-on-ones no matter what I did, but for less meaty tanks, it works surprisingly well. His ultimate, on the other hand... oh boy. Okay, so the whole idea is that his bullets become one-hit kills to whoever gets caught in these reticles. Or at the very least, they do a lot of damage, which is fine on paper. I mean, Soldier 76 has something similar with his aimbot. But McCree's Deadeye just flat out sucks. For one thing, he gives away his position almost immediately. What are you doing, you idiot? Second, he either has to stand perfectly still or move at the speed of molasses to position himself, hampering his mobility even further. How they were able to make this guy move even worse, I have absolutely no idea. Third, it takes forever for these targeting reticles to take their aim, which means you'll spend more time waiting around than actually shooting dudes. Fourth, none of these maps are even remotely designed in a fashion that allows McCree to take out a wide area, because there's always cover to run behind, and if the other team has someone like Mei or a suited up diva on the field, they can shield or barricade themselves entirely. I mean, it's not like McCree will be fast enough to reposition himself, so fuck it, you know? Fifth, and this is the most damning thing, he's a sitting duck, because depending on where you're firing, McCree is left standing out in the open with no way to retreat or defend himself. Not unless he completely wastes the ultimate, which probably won't even do much anyways, because by the time you get your wits about you, boom, you're dead. Ultimate's completely gone, wasted, have fun getting it back again. It's terrible, easily one of the worst parts of his moveset. Out of the 4 hours I spent capturing footage for McCree, the most kills I managed to get out of his ultimate in a single go were 2. At best, it's one of the most situational ults in the game, but with these maps and McCree's limitations, it just doesn't do the job, and after some light research into the community, it seems like I'm not alone. Shitty ultimate aside, however, I enjoyed my time with McCree. As someone who plays more tanks and support characters, he clicked with me surprisingly well. I'll probably end up playing him a little bit more on my own time, and who knows, I might just have a new main up my sleeve. Lord knows I need someone else to go with besides healers, Diva, and Roadhog. Even if Roadhog is the best character. Fuck you, Jake. You took my main.